Week 10 of our no shopping challenge is officially over and done. Yes! Hi, we're the Provident Peppers. This week we celebrated our birthday without going to the store.
No going out to eat.
No fun foods.
And none of the usual spoiling by our parents. It's a good thing we have friends.
Well, that's not totally true. We all did get a turkey dinner. It just wasn't like going out to eat.
Check this out.
This is our Week 10 report of our 90-day challenge. The theme for this week has to be abundant harvest. As we head into fall, frost is coming and we are gathering all kinds of things out of our yard.
And part of our abundant harvest is our ability to have eggs and vegetables. All of this just comes from our yard and it's delicious and it changes every time depending on what vegetables we saute before we put the eggs on. And that abundant harvest has allowed us to transform basic ingredients into spectacular meals such as this beef soup that we made for our Sunday dinner.
Once again, you see the oatmeal that we have a couple of times a week. I like mine with pecans and raisins and apples, and it truly is amazing.
This was a simple meal of the leftover soup from Sunday, but the side dish may not look that delicious. As each of the kids tried it, you would hear this, "Oh, this is really good." And they wolfed it all down. And it was just so simple. We had diced onions with a little bit of garlic and yellow squash, salt and pepper, and Parmesan cheese. And truly, it was amazing.
This is one of our breakfasts, which included waffles with fresh fruit syrups from our yard.
And this week it was Kenni and Christy's birthday. And normally we love to embarrass them at school and we'll take some kind of big treat for all their class. I mean, these kids are in high school now and we still embarrass them this way. But the best that I could do this year was chocolate chip oatmeal cookies, which are always a hit. And they have some fantastic friends that made sure they didn't suffer too much because we couldn't go to the store. When they came home from dance, they found these on their front porch. And these downstairs by their bedroom door from their friend Jennifer. And for dinner, we had a simple chicken dinner, which they actually really enjoyed.
And then they get to go out after our challenge is over for a birthday dinner on the town. The kids always love dehydrated hash browns with eggs for breakfast. And again, here's veggies and eggs for lunch. It's a great treat with salsa and jalapenos.
I don't do the jalapenos. And as we've been using everything that's in our freezer, there was this big turkey left over from Thanksgiving last year that I had gotten free when I'd bought a bunch of groceries. And it had just been sitting there, and we decided it was time to cook the turkey. So we went out and we harvested all the vegetables and spices from the garden that we needed to make this turkey spectacular.
And then we cooked that turkey in the sun oven, which was a fun treat. We also cooked a cobbler and a couple of loaves of bread. We have 2 sun ovens, so we could have these going at the same time. It turned out great.
And there you have our turkey dinner in September. It was absolutely delicious. This delicious dinner was very similar to what Thanksgiving traditionally is, where you're using the foods that you've grown yourself. So it was especially rewarding for us. And that turkey produced 4 additional bags of meat that we have put in the freezer to use for upcoming meals. We took that turkey carcass and put it in a slow cooker along with a bunch of delicious vegetables and cooked it for a day and a half to create a rich turkey broth. And that turkey broth will be the base for many of our upcoming meals. And then we have some happy cats who got all the leftovers.
This was another one of our breakfasts that included our homemade bread turned into French toast, and in Ben's case, smothered with powdered sugar, with a few peaches on the side. And here we go again, veggies and eggs for lunch. Again with salsa and jalapenos.
But that's his plate. My plate didn't have the jalapenos.
And then a piece of homemade toast on the side with some peaches. Great lunch.
And here is the traditional day after Thanksgiving dinner, turkey soup that we had for dinner the next night.
On Fridays, I like to make fried rice for the kids. This week we used the freeze-dried whole peas and experimented with that. It turned out really quite well. The Texture was pretty good. One of the girls said it wasn't quite as sweet as normal, but everybody loved it, as usual.
Here's another lunch, but this time the veggies and eggs are Kylene style.
With raisin bread toast on the side.
That was so good this week.
Love the raisin bread. Yeah. As you may recall, we had leftover burritos from Sam's Farewell that got put in the freezer. We love to pull these out and smother them with enchilada sauce, a little bit of cheese on top. It turns out really, really tasty.
And that's a traditional meal in our family. Anytime I do what's called the Mexican bar, where I make several slow cookers of beans and one of meat, after that meal is over, we make burritos out of everything and put it into the freezer, and we use that as a kind of fast food. In our last video, the kids had asked for help for Mom so that she could know what she could do to cook better for them, as if these kids are suffering. But Dee Powell recommended bean burritos. And Dee and I think totally alike because this is a staple food in our house. But I didn't realize that I hadn't shared that little tidbit of information with you guys yet. So this is a picture of our freezer right now. And you look and most of everything else has disappeared. But we still have a really good stash of the frozen burritos. And the kids will take one and put it in the microwave and have that for a fast food when they're hungry. And I feel really good about that because I know what's in those burritos. All real good, healthy stuff.
This is a part of our bountiful harvest. It has been quite a week for harvesting tomatoes, watermelons, peppers, onions, peaches, nectarines, just a whole variety of things. In addition, we were gifted some grapes that we made a bunch of delicious grape juice from.
We received our first fall frost warning, and so it was a time that we needed to go in and harvest anything that could be damaged by that fall frost. And here Jonathan is dishing up that freezer jam into the containers so that we can enjoy that fresh berry taste throughout the winter.
As part of the abundant harvest that we have this year, we were able to set aside some grape juice, some salsa, and some berry syrup, again for use during this next winter.
I took a little bit of the berry preserves and made these delicious crumb bars. And I had taken these out of the oven and set them on the stove. And when I came back, they had been attacked. Before I could cut them into nice, neat little bars, they had been pilfered by a bunch of starving children. And he's caught.
Harvest always means a lot of work for our family.
This also means lots of fresh foods and preserves. The peaches have been awesome.
And now for the question of the day. How is your favorite way to preserve the harvest? Comment below.
And thanks for being part of the solution.
All you need is love.